Hi guys, and look at my skirt. So this is the skirt we did, and look at how beautiful it's looking. See the bum thing. Okay, anyway, so over to the sewing. I've been able to cut, and we're going to be sewing. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and welcome to our sewing class. So this is a skirt allocation thing we did, and I've been able to cut it out. Actually, before then I added my allowances. I normally use 1 inch to the zip side, and also 1 inch to the side itself, all right, and half an inch at the top, and of course the front as well, where I added my allowances as well. So extended the dart and added half an inch at the top. All right, so cut it out, and I also cut out my lining. I used the same fabric because I just had an excess fabric, but I cut the lining 1 inch shorter than the main fabric, as you're seeing. Okay, so that's basically it. So let's go over to the sewing. It's actually easy and will get done in no time. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be using a band for mine, like a 2 inches band, so that's what I'll be adding to it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is sew the darts. All right, so I've notched, I've marked, and I'm going to sew it. And please don't forget to notch where your slit is going to be. That's what I'm doing now. Take out your pins and then sew off all your darts. I do that first. I just hold all my darts on the main fabric and on the lining fabric before I start off anything. So that's basically what I'm doing at the moment. So just sew down your dart and then we'll continue from there. Okay, so now I'm done with my darts, and I'm going to move on to joining the pieces together. Okay, so I'm going to take off, separate my lining piece, keep it aside, and then my main fabric. Okay, so I'm going to bring the front piece now, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Open up your front piece, keep it, and then take your back piece. Remember, your back piece is going to be in two because it has zip on it as well. Okay, so open up, and we're going to be stitching side to side. So arrange it just like so, placing side of the back to side of the front on both sides. I'll take out the lining piece now. I'll work on that after. Now whatever I'm doing here is the same thing I'm going to do on the lining piece. So I'm going to be pinning the sides, and I'm going to join them together. Okay, so I've placed the sides properly, and I'm going to stitch them at 1 inch. Stitch it at whatever allowance you kept. You might have kept half an inch. It's just like you're sewing your normal skirt. All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to do it to all the sides. Same for the main fabric and same for the lining fabric as well. All right, so just seal off your sides, side seam. That's what we're actually working with. So do it for all of the sides. So I'm done. Now that I'm done with both main fabric and lining, I'm opening up the main fabric, and then I'm going to bring the lining piece and place on it, right side to right side. Okay, just like so. Align your seams together. You know, it's very important. Just make sure that they are aligned. So this is the hem. Okay, I've placed the hem. This is the hem I'm placing together. I'm opening my seams, and I'm going to stitch at the 1 inch I kept for the hem. That's your hemming allowance. Please, it's the hem, not the waist part. So I've stitched at 1 inch, and I'm done. So once you're done stitching, you're going to cut off your threads. Please always remember to cut off your threads. It's very, very important. Cut off your threads, and then we're going to flip it to the right side. All right, sew at the hem, and then we are going to flip over. So now I'm turning it over to the right side. Okay, so now we have the lining piece on one side, and we have the main piece on one side. Now you're going to drag it up. You notice that when you drag it up, it's going to be shorter on the inside, so that makes your hem not showing, you know, on the other side. And I'm putting the two together, like the waist part. Now place both lining and main fabric together and stitch it down. You're not stitching at half an inch, we're just at a quarter of an inch. Just stitch it down to hold it so it doesn't keep moving, you know, when you're walking. So I've stitched it, and I've stitched it to the end, After now, so I've stitched the hem, I've stitched this top part to hold it together. So the only opening I have now is where my zip is going to be. That's your butt area. So this is the only opening we have at the moment. Okay, so you can actually seal it, anything you want to do. I've chosen not to seal it, so you can seal it. That we'll do another video for that, so I'm not sealing this one. I'm just making it is a fast thing. Okay, so I've placed it together properly. I'm going to mark where the zip is going to be. So you pick up your zip, place it, and then use it to mark at least about 1.5 inches up, you know, the end of your zip. Just mark it. When you mark, that's where you're going to start sealing the back from, like your butt area from. So you're going to start stitching at the 1 inch we kept for your zip allowance. At that point you have marked. All right, so you're going to stitch it down and stop. Remember, we have notched your slit, where your slit is going to be. All right, so we're going to stitch and we're going to stop exactly at the slit point. Please arrange your fabric properly together. You know, we are working with like 4 pieces together, so one is not longer than the other. You have to really make sure they're aligned. So as you stitch down, please stop at this slit point. Remember, we notched it. So where your notch is for the you know, where your slit is going to start from, just sew and stop there. The remaining part is remaining open for a slit. And then back stitch, tighten your stitches, and then we are going to open it and knitting that part that we are using for the slit. Watch carefully, please. So now that I'm done, I'm going to flip it and open the slit side. See what I am doing. Okay, then fold. Remember, we have 1 inch allowance. All right, I'm going to fold it, seam allowance. So fold it like into fold the first fold and fold the second time, just like I'm going to do now. Okay, so I'm folding the first and I'm folding it over again. That gives me my 1 inch, and I'm going to stitch on top of it. I'm going to stitch it to where I had stopped the sewing before, where I did the notch for the slit. And like I said earlier on, please, however you sew your skirt, you can, you know, follow suit. Some people can choose to seal this slit as well. I seal it. It depends on what I'm doing or what I'm trying to achieve. If I want to seal everything, if it's for bridals, of course, you seal everything. If it's for Ashwebi, you seal everything. For this one, I don't want to seal. So at this point, I'm flipping it over. And I normally, at this point, when I flip over like this, with the, I stitch over it like 2 times back and forth before I continue, just to hold that place down so that it doesn't split open. Turn it down again, just like so, and still fold your 1 inch off and sew all the way down. It's actually very easy. If you get confused, please watch it again, and you know, I make it as easy as anything so that you can. So for this, any newbie can actually stitch this. You don't have to like seal, and it's easy to make your adjustment when you want to. All right, so I'm done with this now. I'll cut off my thread as usual, and then it's time to fix our band. All right, I had told you I'm going to cut out a band for it. It's going to be high-waisted. Remember, I'm actually making a crop top to go with this, like a crop top. I'm not a crop top kind, and I don't really like my tummy showing. Look at how neat the slit is looking, so you don't really have to seal it. So because of that, I'm going to cut out a 2 inches band for the skirt. And there's a way I cut out my band so it actually really fits on my body, you know. So that's actually what I'm going to do now. Maybe I'll just do a video for that, which I actually didn't do. Look at how pretty this is. Please, this is lovely. And when you're cutting, please make sure that you place your designs properly. All right, so I'm making a 2 inches band, so I'm going to cut that, stitch it, and then I'll come back and show you. So when I'm cutting that band, this is how I keep it. All right, so now I've cut out my band. Like I said, I'll probably bring it in another video so you see how I cut my band to fit perfectly for my skirt. So I'm going to mark the middle point of the skirt, because I'm going to align the way I made the band. I must align the middle point front to the middle CF of the front of the skirt, you know, for me to start sewing. So I'm flipping it over and I'm aligning. Now this band too, you can actually choose for the seam not to show. so you know, flip it and seal it, but I'm not doing that for this video. So I'm going to weave this all over. All right, so you can choose the weaving method, you can choose the sealing method to fix your skirt band. Anyone works just fine. All right, so I'm going to stitch this. I've aligned it and I'm going to stitch it at 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm done stitching. Okay, and my band is actually looking good as at now. Okay, so once I'm done with this, look at, please place your, if you're using a fabric that has this kind of designs, try to place your designs properly. Okay, so the next step is to fix the zip to this point. All right, so I'm going to fix my zip now, and it has to be a long zip. That's what I used, so that, you know, it would fit into the space I had kept. Don't forget I'm using a high band, meaning I need a longer zip. All right, so here am I fixing my zip, and that's it. It's as simple as this. It's just as simple as this, and your skirt is ready. So fix your zip, and that's it, and we're done. And then you get to see how fitted this skirt is. It's a fitting it gives at the bum that just, you know, that is it for me. It's just lovely, you know. So make yours, and if you have any issues, get back to me. Drop your comments in the comment section below, and once I get online, I'm going to respond to you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And for those that have subscribed, thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful. And I'd love to see you make this. I'd love to hear from you. And I mean, look at how the bum pad is sitting. I'm in love with this skirt. Try and make yours, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and show me some love. All right, look at how this band is sitting. I mean, if you cut the band, look at it, still gives you that, you know, remember we came down 1.5 inch at the waistline. It's awesome. It is just awesome. Please make yours, and let's see, and I'll be seeing you in the next class. Bye. Right there on top of the moon, we could sit and do nothing. Oh,